All right, welcome back to No BS Just News with Steve. As always, I'm your host. Thanks for tuning in to the best YouTube around. Just kidding. As you all know by now, the stimulus checks have began to go out. They began to go out Friday. People started seeing them in their accounts Friday with a pending date of March 17th before they clear. A lot of people don't realize that the Get My Payment portal is updated, so you can go check it out. It wasn't supposed to be back online until Monday. However, it is back online. There's some people out there playing some golf. Anyhow, so the concern is, again, the IRS sending checks to closed bank accounts. Drives me nuts, and I know it drives everybody else nuts. There was millions of Americans on the second stimulus check, and probably the first, but this is more focused towards the second check, where it went to a closed account and had to be returned once it was rejected by the bank, and in the return the IRS mailed most of you a payment. Not everybody, but most of you. I'm seeing a lot of comments on Facebook, YouTube videos, Instagram, where people are saying, my third stimulus check went to the closed account again. And a lot of you are saying that you updated your banking information because you filed your 2020 tax return prior to the stimulus being approved early February, when you could start filing in January. But remember, folks, the IRS didn't start accepting returns until February 12th. But that should have given enough time for them to figure out, like, look, man, in their system, the last payment went to a closed account, so it should automatically. They said that they had it set up to where it recognized that and it would not send it like that again. If you had a closed account and it was sent out and then sent to that account and then returned to them, the third payment would not be sent like that. However, I'm seeing that it is, and it's effing annoying. So here's the thing. The payment status is going to be updated again tomorrow. Just because your system says right now the Get My Payment says payment not available or whatever it's saying, doesn't mean that it's still not going to go to a closed account. Hopefully that means they just haven't processed the paper checks yet, because they'll start doing that, and the effective date for those is said to be March 22nd, which is next Monday. They'll start sending those out. However, I don't know, they're going to update again tomorrow. So I'm almost thinking they're going by an alphabetical order for some reason, because a lot of people I know, it's all A through J. I don't know anybody that has received a check with the last name that isn't A through J. So that's just an opinion of mine. That's probably not how it works, but I definitely understand your frustration, especially if you filed your 2020 tax return and you updated your bank account information as they said to do, the IRS, and it still went to a closed bank account. I don't freaking get it. I really don't. It just pisses me off for the people that need the money right now. And it went to a closed account again. So they have until the end of 2021 to get these payments out. Unlike the second check where they had to get them out, and there was a deadline on the 15th, and that got extended by an executive order by Biden. So they ended up sending out checks to folks that had a closed account that it went to, and then it just, it went back to them. It got sent back to the IRS, and then checks got sent out. However, that didn't happen for everybody. So what's going to happen if you have a closed account and the check went to it, it's going to have to get rejected by the bank, returned to the IRS, and in return they will send a check or direct debit card to the address on file. That's another thing. If your address on file is not up to date, a lot of the USPS Postal Service offices will not forward mail from the IRS if your address is not up to date. And sometimes even if it is, they won't forward it. So make sure it's up to date with the IRS and USPS. But again, I know it's frustrating. I will continue to bring more information as it becomes available. Right now, there's really not a whole lot of information on why they're sending these payments to closed accounts again, especially if that happened to you the first and second time, which probably the first time it didn't, because they allowed you to go in and update your information. Some people it did. They had a lot of issues, not only with bank accounts, but other things. Incorrect amounts, payments being sent to deceased. However, all these tax companies worked with the IRS to make sure they identified that these accounts were either closed or they were temporary closed accounts. So they're just rushing them out. They don't care. They could care less. As you can see, your payment, if you're one of the millions that your payment went to a closed account, you're going to have to, unfortunately, wait for it to be mailed out. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it's what it is. They're saying right now the only way they're going to let you go in and update your bank account information is if the payment status says, I can't remember what the payment status says, but basically the check is returned to them because it's undeliverable. They will let you go in and update your bank account information where they just direct deposit it. I don't know why they just didn't do that for everybody. Fraud is always going to be fraud, just like it was when they let you do it the first time. It was imminent then, it probably will be imminent now, but it'll stop the delay of them rushing the stimulus through the government to get people their money to send it to a closed account where it just has to be returned. It's absolutely horrible, absurd. I hate that you guys are having to go through that, but that's what's going to happen. It's going to get sent back to the bank or to the IRS, rejected by the bank, back to the IRS, mailed to you either direct payment, direct debit card, or check, which could take months. Hopefully it doesn't. I think last time it took, if your payment said January 4th sent to a closed account, they were to you by February 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and a little bit after that. So that's the update for now, folks. Stay tuned and go check, get my payment again tomorrow. Just because it says payment status not available right now doesn't for sure mean you're going to get a paper check. Maybe that you'll be on that second round of direct deposits where they send it to a closed account. So it's absurd, I know, but thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Leave a comment below, make sure you subscribe, and I will answer to the best of my ability. I do a lot of research on that, so let me know what questions you have, especially if you're involved in this closed account nonsense. We'll talk to you later. Peace.